Good possession. Erik Ten Hag's side here in these opening 5-6 minutes. Grimaldo decides to start making a move. Here's Adli, comes down looking for a free kick and will get one. Start pushing the back there from Adewoye, Fortuna central defender. Bit of a clumsy challenge really. Adli just waiting for any sort of a touch and more than happy to go down. Win his side the free kick, giving him a chance to get the ball into the danger area here from this set piece situation. Grimaldo standing over the ball. Hubner and Schick with a little bit of argy-bargy in the box. Doesn't look like it's anything too serious though. Well, not a bad delivery whatsoever. And Gerald Kwanzaa lets it glance off the top of his head there, hoping it would find its way into the far corner. Tell you what, it wasn't too far away from doing just that. Lovely whip on the cross, and clever play from Kwanzaa. Just let the pace of the ball do all the work for him. The slightest of touches. And it's back to goal, of course, unable to really guide it where he wanted to, but wasn't far away from finding that bottom corner. And the same goes for Adli just moments later from outside the box. Didn't catch it quite as sweetly as he would have liked there. Sort of hitting it down into the ground a little, taking some of the pace off that effort. Did have Branderhorst scrambling across. And the new man in goal, I was going to say, decides to take the long route, but he changes his mind, plays it short after all. Now the ball does get launched upfield. A bit of a hopeful ball there by Dahlhaus, who just looked a little off balance there as he had to sort of chip it from slightly behind the centre of gravity there. No danger to Flecken in goal. Bayernofia, as they did against Bochum, more than happy to play their way out from the back, invite that pressure and create those gaps in the middle of the park to then try and take full advantage of with the pace that they have in that front three with Marza, with Adli. Pass picked off by Axel Tappe. Sends it out wide for Nathan Teller, able to keep it in play. Fizzed into the feet of Palacios there by Andrich. Difficult one to control. Pinto, back to Brandhorst. There is the man in charge, Danny Buys. Here at Fortuna. 43-year-old, took over back in July of 2023. Tops of up. He's picked off there by Fosso. It's the Werkself do well to get bodies back behind the ball as quickly as possible, to put the brakes on any sort of a quick transition. Nearly winning the ball back in an attacking area there. Just a little too heavy with the challenge. A good show of pace there from Jarrell Kwanzaa to deal with that danger. Not always a given with central defenders, although more common in the modern game. It's definitely another a box that he ticks for Bayern 04. The new man at the back. Very good on the ball, good close control, good vision, good distribution as well, but plenty of pace. Hardly inside to Schick. Marza loses his footing, holds on to the ball though. Tries the cheeky little nutmeg. And finds a way past not one but two Fortuna players there. There's a good cutback as well. It's a goal kick in the end. Adli on the ground and reeling in pain here. There's Adli making that run towards the near post. Well, there was contact, but it was after he somewhat missed the effort on goal. Had a swing at it and ended up crashing into Fosso, I believe it was. So definitely not a penalty. Doesn't make it any less painful though. The ball looked like it was already out of play. The whistle does go eventually. The Werkself have done a good job of keeping Fortuna pinned back inside their own half. He's opening almost 15 minutes now. Lovely dink over the top, great first touch. And the flag goes up. Nearly perfectly timed it. There's that vision we were talking about. Jarrell Kwanzaa and the distribution as well. Not a bad first touch from Nathan Teller to pluck the ball out of the air. Just setting off a little too early though. Promising signs though in these early stages. Another solid start from the Werkself. Might have to do some defending here though. Pinto with the cross into the box, a little too close to Flecken. Was able to come and collect easily. Well, Flecken holding on to the ball a little too long. As part of the few rule changes that have come into play. So possession, as a result, handed back to the opponent in the form of a corner kick. First time we've seen it. It's something that players, and goalies especially, are going to have to get used to. Darlos getting the better of Teller there. Made sure he got the ball on the ground quickly there, didn't he? Playing their way out of trouble. Grimaldo then going down. Thought he was brought down unfairly. Didn't look like the challenge sort of came through the back of him. Just having a word with the referee there as well, Grimaldo. Thankfully, the attack comes to nothing. Fortuna do have a throw deep inside the Bayern 04 half. Will be a long one into the box. Comes back out to Pinto. First time ball. And a little dink. Flecken called into action. That's a good reaction save. The rebound didn't really have any power behind it, which made the catch simple second time round. Nothing simple about the first save. It was sort of directly at him, but from close range doesn't necessarily mean he keeps it out. And he's just caught on the back of the head there. Does lead with the elbow slightly there, Michut. Just leaving a mark on the back self-captain. Here's another look at that opportunity for Fortuna. There's the initial header. It's actually a cushioned header of Gerald Kwanzaa there to help it back, which is very calm and collected from the young Englishman. Bayern 04 unable to do much with that free kick. Almost 21 minutes gone. Still 0-0 and clear-cut chances, few and far between. Probably argue the best one so far belonging to the home side, Fortuna. Leverkusen with 2 more friendlies before the competitive season gets underway against Pisa and then Chelsea. Teller is quick, but not that quick. So going back to the start of the competitive season, on the 15th of August, Leverkusen up against Groß Asbach in the first round of the DFB Pokal. And the Bundesliga season kicks off on the 23rd at the Bayer Arena. Hoffenheim coming to town on the opening day, before Leverkusen then head to Bremen to take on Werder on the 30th, the following weekend. Not the easiest start to a season, but games you would feel the Werkself would expect to pick up points from. Another dead ball situation for Grimaldo and company, this time taken short, as they patiently try to find a way through this Fortuna defence. Have been pretty happy to sit relatively deep so far. Try and catch Bayern out on the counter. Just good practice for the Werkself, who will come up against that sort of a situation quite a bit in the Bundesliga, you feel. Grimaldo able to turn, gets an early ball in. Schick with a great first touch, but then can't stay on his feet. Just flicked it back in the other direction. Had the defender beat there, had he been able to stay on his feet and turn, would have had a free shot on goal. Easier said than done though in that situation. Could see what he was trying to do though. Big season ahead for Patrick Schick. Erik Ten Hag will be hoping he can replicate or even get close to, or even improve on, shall we say, what he did last season. It was quite incredible. 21 goals in 31 Bundesliga appearances, 27 in all competitions. Goals in the Champions League and the DFB Pokal as well, not to mention scoring a goal in the Super Cup. Palacios winning the free kick to relieve the pressure there, even if he might have gone down a little easy. Yeah, exactly what he was doing though. And then Adewoye returns the favour at the other end of the pitch. Definitely not the same tempo on show that we saw against Bochum. Of course, the way Fortuna are set up and have approached this first half so far doesn't necessarily allow for an electric start to the game. Werk self having to be patient, try and create those spaces by stretching the Fortuna defence if and when possible. The Eredivisie side at times almost with 6 at the back. There's 5 of them there at the moment. And there's always a holding midfielder that sort of drops back as well to make it a back 6, and just makes life very difficult at times. Even when playing into wide areas, not as much space as you'd hope. Nice little drop of the shoulder there from Axel Tappe. Fed in towards Marza, quickly closed down by 2 Fortuna players simultaneously though. There's Marza on the ball again. Nice little layoff. Andrich lines up the shots. That's a decent strike. Hits it well, hard and low. And unfortunately, straight down the middle and into the hands of Brandenhorst, who was positioned well. Marza. A little bit more weight on that, and Nathan Teller would have been in. And that's been the story so far. Leverkusen playing some really good football, but at times just a few inches away from that perfect pass. A little bit of fine-tuning. No reason why they can't score the opening goal here. And Gerald Kwanzaa goes for the header. Physical aerial duel there. It's both him and Pinto walking away from it unscathed. Is another thing that Gerald Kwanzaa does bring to the table, an aerial threat in set ball or set piece situation, excuse me. Oh, lovely turn by Marza. Schick lets the ball run across his body and can't react quickly enough before the interception is made. Has mainly been Bayern Orfia trying to break down this Fortuna side in this first half as we edge past the half-hour mark. It's worked out in the end. Nathan Teller's cross blocked by Dahlhaus as it goes out for a corner. Grimaldo, and the left-footed in-swinger from the far side. Kwanzaa at the back post again. Kwanzaa rises above the rest and heads it into the inside side netting when he's looked dangerous from those crosses that have come his way. Right from kickoff, and eventually gets this one spot on. Great delivery. One of those that confuses the goalkeeper whether or not to come for it, right into that danger zone. And Gerald Kwanzaa rises above the rest. It's a great leap. And a really well-placed header. Welcome to Bayern 04, Gerald Kwanzaa. Just as we were saying, that it is one of his strengths. He proves that point and then some. Well, let's hope it's the first of many. Really shrewd bit of business by Bayern 04 to bring Gerald Kwanzaa in. I have to say, there were a lot of eyebrows raised in England amongst those who follow the Premier League that Liverpool actually were willing to let him go. He's rated very highly, not just at club level but at international level as well. Steady performer for the England under-21s. Has been part of the England senior squad as well, yet to get his first cap though. Free kick taken quickly by Fortuna. As they now have to react, which might just open things up a little more. Could potentially make it a bit more of a free-flowing game. Of course, results not the be-all or end-all in pre-season, but I think after that 5-1 defeat to Flamengo over in Brazil, Erik ten Hag will be extremely pleased with the reaction from his players. First against Bochum, now again here against Fortuna Sittard. And to add to that, I'll be equally happy with the way the new signings have seem to have very easily slotted into things. Gerald Kwanzaa especially, but the youngsters as well, Maza and Tape. Both been very impressive. Not to mention some of the youngsters that are on the bench today as well. The likes of Montreal Colbreth, who did score the only goal against Flamengo over in Brazil, and Christian Kofane, who came on against Bochum and looked very lively up front. Plenty of experience on the bench as well. And Lucas Radecki, Piero Hincapié, Arthur, Jonas Hoffmann and Victor Boniface. Chance here for Sittard, but really well defended by Axel Tape. Once again showing off that pace of his, and then times the tackle to perfection to deny Aiko any sort of a shot on goal. Look at that pace from the young Frenchman. Made up a good metre and a half between the two. And then needs to get contact on that ball, or it's a stone-cold penalty. It looks like Aiko didn't come off well from that challenge, but certainly played the ball. Might have caught a bit of the Fortuna striker as well. Didn't see too many complaints from Aiko or any of his teammates either, which usually tells you all you need to know. Doesn't mean you can't hurt yourself, even with a fair tackle coming your way. Hopefully he will be okay. Never like to see players picking up injuries in pre-season, regardless of who they play for. He's back on his feet. Hopefully will be able to continue. Play does continue. Well, Aiko, it would seem, is getting ready to come back on, which is good news. Fortuna down to 10 men at the moment. Kwanzaa. Palacios looking for options. Doesn't find any straight away. Wide to tap it. Played just slightly. A little too left for Palacios there, who even at full stretch couldn't hold on to it. As Branderhorst boots the ball upfield. Another really nice cushioned header down there by Jaro Kwanzaa. So precise with his heading of the ball, which has been the difference here so far. His headed goal, the only goal of the game. Andrich spots the run. Well, Nathan Teller definitely onside this time. Across the face of goal, and an easy tap in for Amin Adli. Wonderful link-up play. All started by Robert Andrich. He picks out Nathan Teller beautifully. And the pace on the pass across the middle, beating all the defenders as well as the goalkeeper. Amin Adli reads it to perfection, and slots it in with the inside of the left boot to double Bayern 04's lead just before half-time here. Well, they took a 2-goal lead down the tunnel against Bochum. It looks like we're heading in the same direction here in Sittard. had to bide their time and be patient. As the saying goes, patience is a virtue. And the 2 goals that Bayernofia have scored have been worth the wait, that's for sure. Will it be a corner? No. Goal kick the decision. Interesting to see if Erik Ten Hag decides to make as many changes as he did against Bochum at the break. Competitive football not too far away now, so you'd think a fair few of the players out there at the moment will try and stay out there for at least some of the second half, try and get those fitness levels up, get those minutes in. Of course, the Werkself, like many teams across Europe, with not much of a pre-season as a result of the Club World Cup. Leverkusen, instead, of course, enjoying their time in Brazil. Some hot weather training. Not too many match practice situations until recently. But if Bayernofia do keep performing the way they have been in recent seasons, I'm sure they'll be taking part in the next Club World Cup, that's for sure. Difficult one for Flecken to deal with there, especially with a player right in front of him. And the whistle does go to bring an end to an entertaining first 45 here in Sittard. Leverkusen